Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Real or Real podcast. My name is Bone Dragon, and with me, as always,
I'm Pyxie.
Alright, so today is going to be a fun little day because Pyxie has picked out a story to tell.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So we'll see what she has lined up for us.
So before we get started, though, there are some trigger warnings or content warnings, whatever you want to call them. This one is a little darker than the last one. Of course, as always, there will probably be adult language. And this one will deal with the topics of actual murder, attempted unaliving of oneself, and adultery. So there we go.
Yeah. So before we get into the story, though, I'd just like to make an announcement that we are now on Spotify.
Yay!
So we are on Spotify as the Real or Real podcast. Make sure you keep the question mark in there. That way you can find us. But yeah, we are there in Spotify now. So if you don't feel like, giving ad time to YouTube or giving extra money to Google, then
or if you're listening on your phone and want to be able to turn your screen off,
yeah, there you go. You can now listen to us on Spotify.
Spotify.
But the great thing is Spotify also gives us the ability to branch out to other programs as well, like Apple Music and all the other aggregators. But yeah, we are on Spotify now. Yay!
Yay!
Let me tell you a story.
All right, so Pyxie, you got this story to tell us, right?
Yes. Here we go.
Let's
Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. On July 4th, 1895.
Happy Independence Day.
Well, no, you're getting ahead of yourself. Just hang on.
Okay.
Helena Bouwman gave birth to a healthy baby boy in the humble village of Dozum, Netherlands. Helena, as well as her husband Pieter, were overjoyed with this addition to their already large family. And their newest child they decided to name Gerard. Gerard was the youngest of 7 children, which was a normal thing at the time to have large families. And he enjoyed spending time with his family and was loved by most in the village.
So you could say that he was the 7th son of not 7th son.
I don't know. His father may have been a 7th son. You never know.
Oh, witchy stuff.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. So upon completion of primary school, he began an apprenticeship as a bricklayer. And he also spent his days poaching with his father, learning the skills of an accomplished marksman.
Wait, poaching?
Poaching, not just hunting, poaching.
Okay, so he's not hunting. He's poaching. Wait, what year is this again?
Around this time, it would have been somewhere between 1895 and 1912.
Oh, so it was one of those, you're hunting the king's deer type situations.
I'm not sure. It was a village in the Netherlands, so I'm not sure what the laws were about hunting versus poaching there.
Ah, okay. Hey.
All right, so there's that. So he spent a lot of time with his father poaching, or I guess you could say hunting, but illegally hunting. And so by 1914, at the age of 19, he was a respected mason in his community. Because remember, this is also while he was doing the poaching, hunting, that's when he was doing his apprenticeship to be a bricklayer.
Right.
So, most people know what's going on in the world at night during the years of 1914 through 1918, right?
I should hope so.
World War I.
Yeah.
Okay. So, while World War I raged on, the Netherlands declared their neutrality, sparing Gerard from being involved in the fight. However, the communities of the Netherlands were still plagued by the side effects of worldwide conflict. By 1917, so Gerard would be like in his early 20s by then.
Okay.
Like much of the country, Dozum began suffering from severe food shortages.
Right.
These shortages led to an uptick in theft and street riots.
Yeah, that's going to happen because even if you stay out of a war, you're still affected by it, you know?
Right. There would have to be some type of effects, not even just food shortages, but like, I would assume like shortages in supplies, because I don't know much about World War I, but I remember things about World War II where like there were shortages of metals and nylon and things like that because they needed those supplies.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, if your country gets anything imported from another country, there's a possibility that it's going to be in short supply.
Right.
So, in the years following, Hendrik Verstappen.
Wait, what?
Hendrik Verstappen.
Say that again.
No.
Oh.
Because okay, so for some perspective, this village of Dozum in the Netherlands is in the northern part of the country.
Oh, okay.
And so it's bordered, not the actual village, but the country of the Netherlands is bordered by Germany on that side.
Okay.
So that's why, you know, I don't know where I'm going with this.
That's okay.
But that's where it is. Okay, so yeah. Hendrik Verstappen. Verstappen. So I guess basically what I'm saying is you're going to have a little bit of German influence bleeding in to the Netherlands culture just because of the proximity to Germany. Or Deutschland, as it's known everywhere else except for the United States.
Well, no.
So.
Because we got to be different in everything we do.
Exactly.
Our football is more violent. Our, measuring system is a lot more complicated and pointless.
Yeah, I guess they just did the good old founding fathers, the people that stole this country.
We got to be different, damn it!
We have to be different. Yeah, we have to be different. So, back to the story. So, in the years following, Hendrik Verstappen, Gerard's best friend, continued to struggle to provide for his family and made the decision to turn to a life of crime, stealing what he needed. He was soon arrested, leaving behind a wife and 6 children.
And that was, I don't know, like, for certain, but, like, I can't help but feel like that, like, in those days, if the husband was arrested and put in jail, then that was, like, almost a death warrant for the rest of the family.
Well, this was the early 1920s, not the late 1800s. So, I mean, and you have to remember, it's in a village in the Netherlands.
Socially, not like,
Well, I don't know. It seemed like it was a pretty tight-knit community in this little village.
Okay.
So, I don't think that she would have been, her and her family wouldn't have been as ostracized if, say, it happened in the United States during that time.
Okay.
But, possibly. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think so. So, grieving and alone, Hendrik's wife, Petronella, turned to Gerard for solstice.
For solstice, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's that time of year.
No, solace. Oh my goodness. So she turned to Gerard for solace during this trying time. And Gerard felt that it was his duty to care for and provide for Hendrik's family while he was away.
I think I see where this is going.
Yeah, maybe. And Petronella saw this as an opportunity to leave her old life behind and start over.
Yeah, there it goes.
There it is. She devised a scheme to seduce and manipulate Gerard to make him fall in love with her. In 1928, Gerard began an affair with Petronella.
Yeah, that's where I figured it was going to go. All right.
Exactly. Like she ain't got enough kids already.
Right.
So, in a span of about 2 weeks' time, she had convinced him that it would be best if she moved into his house with him.
With his wife there.
No. He didn't have a wife.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I am paying attention. I swear I am.
Gerard was still single.
Okay.
Gerard was Hendrik's best friend.
Yeah, Hendrik was
Hendrik
the one that was
the husband who got sent to jail.
No, I think what it is like the whole seventh son thing kind of threw me off. And no, Gerard is the seventh son.
Yes.
And
yes. Gerard is single.
I had it in my head that Gerard had 7 kids. No. He was the 7th kid.
He was the last of 7 children.
Okay,
yes.
I got it.
Yes.
I'm tracking.
Gerard was the last of 7 children. But he was single, lived alone in his house, and he was a mason.
Right.
All right.
And a poacher.
Which he learned from his father.
All right.
And his best friend, Hendrik, is in jail.
Yep. And
Hendrik's
his wife is trying to pull some moves.
Petronella is trying to move on to a new life with Gerard, because why not?
Gotcha.
Okay, so in a span of about 2 weeks' time, she had convinced him that it would be best if she moved into his house with him. However, much to his surprise, upon moving in with Gerard, she left the children behind.
Wait, so did she leave the kids at her old house, or did she move them into Gerard's house and take off?
No. She moved into Gerard's house and left the children in her old house.
Oh.
One barely young adult child and plus 5 minor children.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Wow.
Petronella convinced him that the community would care for the children, and she and Gerard could live a happy life together. This would be her fresh start.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And he bought into that. He was like, okay, well, if you say, you don't want to bring the kids, I guess you're not bringing the kids.
Oh my God. For real?
Yeah. Yeah. She did a number on him. She made him fall head over heels in love with her, and he would do anything for this woman.
Wow.
Anything.
Yeah, I mean, even if I was that much of a schemer, I don't think I could just leave my kids behind like that,
Yeah, in a house by themselves and just be like, oh, the neighbors will.
The
neighbors will look in on them, bring them food. They'll take care of them. It'll be fine.
And not even just for like the legal aspect of it, but like, dude, that's my kids. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly. So, by the end of 1928, which this is all happening, within a matter of months. And so by the end of 1928, a judge ordered that Petronella be brought in for questioning.
Well, yeah.
Due to abandoning her children and committing adultery.
Yeah.
Because both of those things were illegal at the time.
Well, yeah, she's still married, and like the kids are in a house by themselves and not being taken care of. Yeah.
Yeah. So, on the morning of January the 18th, 1929, 2 communal policemen and 2 state policemen trudged through the snow to Gerard's house with the intent of arresting Petronella.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to them, Gerard lay in wait for them with his hunting rifle.
Oh, no.
Yes, determined to protect his beloved Petronella.
Oh, no.
He shot and killed all 4 policemen and sustained minor injuries himself.
Oh, no. Gerard the simp.
But that's not all.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
In the aftermath, he decided that the best course of action would be to burn down his house and flee. Yeah. That's
okay.
What's the thought process there? Oh, I've killed these people. Let me just burn down the house.
Yeah, I mean, forget it.
Hide the bodies.
We're already this deep in. We might as well, go deeper.
Add some arson there, too.
Oh, jeez.
Hide the bodies. Okay. So, he didn't make it far, and he was arrested later that day in a neighboring town. And then Petronella was also apprehended separately and arrested. So that's interesting.
Wait, so...
He didn't flee with her.
Yeah.
He just set the house on fire and ran away.
Ran off.
I'm picturing her just standing there in the snow as this house burns behind her, and he's just running away.
And she's just sitting there looking at the house. What the F?
Yeah.
Well, you were supposed to burn down the house. Just get rid of the cops.
She's probably thinking, well, dang, now I got to lure in another one.
Crap.
I got to start over.
Or maybe she was the Emperor Palpatine, where she's yes, it is all according to plan.
Burn.
Oh, man.
But, so, yeah, I don't understand the whole let's set the house on fire thing, but apparently that's what he decided to do.
Well, either way, after he burned the house down, they went their separate ways, I guess, or he either left her behind or they decided to split up and meet up somewhere else.
I'm under the assumption he just left her behind. I'm under the assumption he freaked out and was like...
And just took off.
Look what I did. I've got to get rid of the evidence and just run away.
Okay.
That's what I think happened, but I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense.
They didn't really... There aren't a lot of details about why he did it, because when he was asked what happened, why he shot the policeman, his answer was, they provoked me.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that was his way of trying to claim that it was a defensive action. But also, then why would you burn the house down?
Right.
I mean, that just...
I mean, if it was really defensive, that'd be one thing, but that could be explained away. But burning the house down, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So then in April of 1929, which is just the following year, Gerard Bauman was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of the 4 policemen. And it was later reduced to a 20-year sentence through an appeal.
Wow.
Yeah, and Petronella received a 1-year sentence for child abandonment and adultery.
Wow.
Yeah, not 4 counts of murder. You would think it would the life in prison thing would stick, but I think he tried to use the defense of number 1. He was defending his home.
Yeah, self-defense.
And number 2, I think he tried to spin it to where she was manipulating him. And that's why this happened.
Okay.
So he was trying to show that he wasn't not necessarily innocent, but he wasn't as guilty as everybody was trying to make him out to be.
Okay.
So then he stayed in prison for quite a while. And in 1941, So that's almost 20 years later.
Yeah.
He had almost finished his sentence. In 1941, he was transferred to the state mental hospital for incarceration there after a failed attempt at unaliving himself.
Wait, so he was almost done.
He was almost finished with his 20-year term.
Decided, I don't want to do this last year.
Right.
Sure. Okay.
I think it was a little bit more than a year, but like he was very close.
Right.
He had served the majority of it.
It's one of those situations where, like, I don't know about you, but I'd be counting down the days.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But it was a failed attempt, and
Okay.
he died later that year on June 6th after succumbing to complications from tuberculosis. So he died in that state mental hospital just a little bit after he was transferred from TB. So I would assume that he probably, maybe that's why he tried to unalive himself. Maybe he had TB before he was transferred to that state mental hospital. Possibly.
And isn't it ironic?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, it could have been, but also if he'd have it also could have been that, like, if he just stuck it out, you know, he wouldn't have gotten tuberculosis. Maybe he did get tuberculosis at the mental institution.
Or maybe don't kill people and you wouldn't be in this situation at all. Or, maybe don't, hook up with your best friend's wife.
The ass is not that good. There is no ass worth it.
Children, you need to learn this. You don't screw crazy.
No. It's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way. Multiple times.
So, Bone Dragon.
Yes.
You tell me, is this real? Did this actually happen? Or is this a work of fiction?
I am inclined to think that this story is a little too ridiculous, and it doesn't seem to have a very satisfying ending to it. So I'm going to say that this is, I think it's real. REAL, real. I don't think it's fiction.
You are correct.
Yes.
Partially.
Partially.
Ooh, here's the twist.
Oh, here we go.
This is a real thing that happened in the Netherlands. Of course, the names have been changed.
Of course.
Mainly because I can't pronounce the names of the actual people. And, but the location has not been changed, and the dates have not been changed. And some of the details were changed because this story was adapted for the 1980 Pieter Verhoeven film, The Mark of the Beast.
What?
Yes. It's a Dutch film, and it actually won 2 awards. It won, their awards show is called the Netherlands Film Festival, and for the 1981 Netherlands Film Festival, it won their award is called the Golden Calf. It won the Golden Calf for Best Feature, and the leading actress won for Best Actress.
That's cheating. You cheated.
I didn't cheat.
You did.
But it is a real thing that happened. There's some the only detail that was actually maybe changed is there is some controversy over whether he shot them or he slit their throats.
You mean the police?
Yes.
Wow.
Because the story has been recounted in both ways, and this story actually would grow into a folk legend in the Netherlands as him being a tragic hero, a simple man from a rural village, trying to do what was right and being manipulated and brought down by a degenerate mother.
See, that's weird because at first, when you were initially telling a story, I'm picturing like a Wild West shootout type situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they're just like, shooting back and forth at each other. Now I'm picturing like Rambo.
Yeah.
Stealthily sneaking up behind people and doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there is some confusion about which way it actually happened. But the majority, yes, it is real.
All right.
And it was, I'll try to say his name. It was Ij Wishkestra.
Wait, say that again.
I, capital J, lowercase J-E, and his last name is capital W, I-J-K-S-T-R-A.
All right, listeners, get on it. If that's, how do you say that name? Let us know, because I have no clue.
Do we have any Dutch listeners? Yeah, it's just that we're not familiar with the language, so I don't know the pronunciation for it. And then her name was Alge Botter, capital A, lowercase a, L-T-J-E.
All right.
So I was pretty sure that you wouldn't be familiar with those names, but I was also pretty sure that there was no way that I was going to be able to pronounce them correctly. So the names were changed for the story. But like I said, the locations and the dates were not changed. That was all accurate to the very real story that was adapted into not only that movie, that was the most successful movie that the story was adapted into, but it was also adapted into plays, and there have been multiple books written about it, and someone wrote a biography about this guy. And apparently there's some debate, but it is widely accepted that this was the first mass murder in the country.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
and it was that popular. Well, I guess it would be that popular, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So you are correct. It is real.
It is real.
But there was that little twist. So I felt like I should include that too. So
I mean, that makes sense.
It makes it a little bit more interesting.
I mean, not only that, but like, I don't know about you, but with the nature of the show, we kind of sometimes have to be a little dramatic with the stories, just to kind of disguise, whether it's real or not. So,
but I didn't use the screenplay,
right?
Because they did take a lot more liberty with the story for the screenplay for that movie.
I'm not surprised by that.
I went straight with the facts of the story.
All right, well, that sounds good.
To the point that, I could, as much as I could research the facts of the story. And that was the only discrepancy that I found, was how the policemen were actually murdered.
Which could have been a couple different ways.
Right.
Fun. Yeah. Well, this is a story, definitely, that, kind of makes you question people, I mean, why would you... I see, that's just it. I don't know. Why would you do that? I'm sorry. I love my wife very much. I don't think that I would kill 4 people for her, have her abandon her children, and then burn my house down for it. That's just weird to me.
You never know.
Yeah,
Love makes people do crazy things,
weird.
man.
All right.
I guess the moral of the story is don't hook up with somebody who is going to manipulate you.
Don't
you see those red flags in the relationship and run.
Don't stick it in crazy.
Exactly.
It's that easy, and it works both ways too. Girls.
Oh, yes.
Girls.
Yes.
Do not go after the crazy dude.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
You're going to end up chained up in the basement.
It's not worth it. All right. Well, thank you for the story, Pyxie. That was absolutely wonderful. Well, not wonderful, but, it was fun.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yes. Very good. So, if you like that story, if you like this episode, then we got another one for you that came out last week. And we'll have another one for you next week. Yeah, we are currently working on some other options for the show. Like I said, we're on Spotify now. We're on YouTube. We are working on getting on some other podcast aggregators and whatnot. We'll figure that out as we go. But
also,
yes,
we're looking for guests. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, if you'd like to tell us your tale, drop us a comment there. Let us
absolutely. Know. I might just hook up a way where you could call in and give us your story. Ooh. But yeah. Yeah, I really like this. Thank you very much, Miss Pyxie Dustin.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, you're welcome.
All right, well.
Pyxie has zoned out.
I can tell. But that's okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye now.
Bye.